When I was growing up, I had enjoyed a show called Pokemon. Pokemon is now deemed an anime. I didn't know that when I was growing up. I just thought it was cool pocket monsters. I enjoyed Pokemon with my whole chest and soul. One of the greatest shows I have seen in quite some time. I saw Detective Pikachu for the first 10 minutes and immediately cut it off. I didn't like how fuzzy Pikachu was. I really didn't appreciate that. It didn't make a lot of sense to me. Growing up, I had seen Dragon Ball Evolution. If you've never seen Dragon Ball Evolution, it is the worst thing to ever happen to Dragon Ball Z. It is the worst medium to ever happen. After watching Dragon Ball Evolution, my dad said, "Oh, I see you got done watching live action Dragon Ball. I want to show you something that's near and dear to my childhood." He showed me the first Super Mario Brothers movie. It was horrific. I think I have never seen something as bad in my entire life. It was horrible. And those were obviously bad live action adaptations. So let's talk about a good live action adaptation. There is no good live action adaptation. And I'm not saying that there aren't ones that are great on their own merit. I mean, there are no ones that honor the source material in a way that the medium of animation doesn't make it better. What is the point of live action adaptation? What is the point? Is it to bring in an audience that would never dare watch an animated show? That's their choice. That's their choice to not enjoy something that could change their life forever. If you don't want to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender because you think it's a show for kids on Nickelodeon, then by all means, don't watch it. If you don't want to play Minecraft because you don't want to enjoy camaraderie and friendship, the live action movie isn't going to make you feel better. If you're not going to play Mortal Kombat and you need a live action Mortal Kombat, it's not going to change your life. I remember seeing the opening intro to Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Mortal Kombat Armageddon's opening sequence is one of the greatest things I've ever witnessed, period. There were so many different plot points and relevancy, so many stories being told without a single word uttered. We got so many stories being told, and it was all through the medium of CGI 3D animation, and that was outstanding. I loved every bit of it. If anime looked like the opening of Mortal Kombat Armageddon, I would be over the moon. It was one of the greatest things I witnessed growing up, and I rewatched it at least 150 times because I would sit and wait on the opening screen until that animation played and loop back. I loved it so much. Live action adaptations don't do anything for the medium. The live action One Piece, I hate it. Everybody kept saying, well, live action One Piece is going to be so good. I'm so happy that the actors have a chance to play their favorite characters that may have grown up with those characters. And I'm happy that we have racial diversity, which is, I don't really care about racial diversity. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't care about that. I really don't. I'm so happy we just have actors playing certain characters. It's really cool. I'm so happy about that. It's fun. I like it. But I don't need it. I would have much rather watched One Piece because it is so hard to get the medium of One Piece, the fantastical worlds, the designs into One Piece without an insane budget. It is just wasting money for the sake of wasting money when you don't really need to waste that money. There's a live action Lilo and Stitch coming out. The live action Lion King is still just mostly CG, which is strange. So there's no need to have it be live action when people just appreciate the medium of the old Disney film. You don't need to continually re-release and remake these things. You could just do it hand-drawn or do it with better animation. Beautiful animation transcends reason and logic. It transcends your hate of anime. It transcends your hate of cartoons. I love Moana. I think it looks pretty. I love Treasure Planet. The Emperor's New Groove has amazing hand-drawn animation. If you could just put the budget towards more animators, more keyframers, more people to do quality checks on animation, you would have a resurgence of 2D animation. You don't need to make things live action. You can just hire voice actors to make them better, to make them more in tune with what they are. Live action doesn't need to exist. There's no real purpose. I ask you this. When you make art, no matter what it is, I imagine it has some form of soul within it. There is some greater narrative reasoning behind it. Even if you draw a stick figure, you're drawing it to express yourself in some way. This, to me, is art. When you are a filmographer, I imagine you want the certain character angles and the camera angles to coalesce into one thing. That, to me, is art. Live action is taking a medium of art. Whatever the art is, whether it be Avatar, Minecraft, whether it be One Piece, Cowboy Bebop even, is taking that medium that is already cemented in the author's vision, and it is making a fan fiction of it. That is what live action does. When I saw the first Avatar, The Last Airbender movie, garbage. I knew as a kid it sucked, and that's crazy. It's crazy to know as a child when something sucks. That's nuts. It's like if they made a live action Dora the Explorer. What's the point of making a live action Dora the Explorer? It doesn't really make any sense. You have it through the medium of animation. You have it already. I can sometimes slightly understand some one live action Mortal Kombat sometimes, but even then it probably would be better as a 3D animation, as we saw when we had the recent Mortal Kombat movie, and then we could have just simply had something much better with a 3D animation. The issue is that creative differences strike up where they say, well, we can do something much better than what the cartoon did. We can do something much better. We can expand on the story. We can add real emotion. There is real emotion in the medium of animation. There's already real emotion within it. The voice actors convey that. That's the beauty of being a voice actor, is showing the difference in vocal range, tone, allowing yourself to feel within it, even if you don't understand the same language. It's like the difference in tonal shifts between voice actors to make it different, to put on a different character and allow yourself to be within that tiny time frame to make sure, gosh dang it, I ain't like seeing them come around my parts these days. It is so much to act and use your voice in a different inflection, in a different tone. Phil Lamar, who does the voice of Wilt, Samurai Jack, who does the voice of Green Lantern, shows a different vocal range within that. Even the voice of Timmy Turner, the woman who does Timmy Turner, does an impressive vocal range. All of these characters are still actors. They still are able to convey emotions, but live action does nothing for the medium. Live action does zero things for the medium. You could argue and say, well, live action brings in people who would never watch animated shows. Who cares? I mean this with my whole chest. Who cares? You're disrespecting your already fan base. You're disrespecting the fan base when they just want maybe a remaster of it, a remake. I remember first watching Hunter x Hunter. The first time I watched Hunter x Hunter was the original series. The first time I watched Hunter x Hunter. Simply for the fact of the matter that I heard it was like Yu Yu Hakusho. And I had watched Yu Yu Hakusho sparingly throughout Tsunami up to the Dark Tournament Saga. And I was super excited to see more of Yu Yu Hakusho and more from Togashi. So I saw that show and it was pretty good. And then they got a remake, which was significantly better. There are some things in the original that I enjoy, but getting a remake, a relining, a recoloring, a redesign, a reanimation, a remaster of Hunter x Hunter was outstanding. I was over the moon. I loved every bit of it. It didn't need a live action, even though Yu Yu Hakusho did get a live action. I saw the Yu Yu Hakusho live action, and it falls flat. Because you're taking these fantastical world designs. You're taking something that an artist drew where they have pure freedom to make whatever they want without having to worry about costuming, worry about any of that. They can just make whatever they want, and you now have to bring that medium, that fantastical world, that magic, that flair into reality, which would cost a stupid amount of money. It is a waste of money for the sake of wasting money. It feels stupid to do when live action doesn't need to exist. There's no reason for it. If there's a reason for it, I'd love to see it. As a matter of fact, tell me if there's a reason for live action down in the comment section below, outside of getting fans who would have never watched the show in the first place. Would it make them watch the animated show if they saw the live action? Probably not. More than likely, if they watch the live action, they're going to stick to the live action and wait for more things like that because they already cast aside the medium of animation. Unless a fan continually tells them, oh, the anime is better, oh, the cartoon is better. Then they may get hounded down by the fans, but even still, that doesn't really justify the need for live action. You could say that live action did a good job. Oh, this is a great job. But it will never live up to the original flair, the animation, the stretchiness of Luffy being shown, the fantasticalness, the coloring, the mysticism of all these things being put on the forefront. It will never do that. It's why Dragon Ball Z can barely get a live action. That's why you don't see a live action Naruto. That's why Yu Yu Hakusho's live action failed. That's why even Cowboy Bebop, which this is crazy, I thought the Cowboy Bebop live action was good. I didn't think it was great. I think the anime was significantly better, but I thought it was good. And people hated it because of wig designs and it was goofy. It was jokey. It's anime. You're bringing anime into the forefront. You know how hard it is to bring. Gosh, I don't know, Kotomaru. It's so difficult because you're staring at me and making me blush. Imagine a human doing that realistically without the voice acting. No, Kotomaru. It's really difficult to see you this way. I don't understand. It's if you could just draw the actions out, a lot less embarrassing. You're bringing that embarrassment, that cringe, into real life with live action anime and live action adaptations, even with video games like Uncharted, with the quips that are only possible in the medium of video games. When you do that, when you bring it out the forefront, you realize how absolutely ridiculous some of this nonsense is. Live action should not exist. It has no purpose. Bye.